We've got a load of stuff to cover in today's video. First of all, Tesla Q1 production and delivery numbers have dropped. Production just over 408,000 deliveries. Who cares, bro? They'll deliver everything they produced. Compare this to last year Q1, where Tesla produced 362,000 vehicles. Production up not far off 50,000 units. But who cares about vehicle deliveries? All eyes are on autonomy. A few Tesla investors taking note of energy deployments. 8.8 gigawatts a year ago, 10.4 gigawatts of energy storage deployed. Over on X, Roland has put together a wonderful chart showing Tesla energy deployments over time. I have seen a lot of commentary on X today, a lot of Tesla investors calling this disappointing, concerning, worrying, and so on, to which I respond, I don't want to do too much of a dick, but are you guys completely retarded? Tesla's energy storage business is extremely lumpy and volatile because the scale of some of these projects, some of the orders for a single energy project from Tesla can be in the hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion+ dollars. You'll note many occasions where, despite the overall trend clearly growing exponentially, there can be massive dips, consecutive quarters before huge surges and rebounds. Don't read into these quarterly figures in isolation. Let's count since 2019 how many quarters we've seen decline over the previous quarter in energy storage deployments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here we are, the 10th. Yet, over that same time, what has been the trend? The answer to that is to the fucking moon. It's embarrassing that I have to point this out, but I've seen a lot of discussion. Oh no, what happened to Tesla energy deployments? Chill out. Just making sure people understand. Tesla energy is extremely lumpy and volatile because they're huge products, huge orders. Never mind Tesla's own potential internal needs, redirecting some production for their own sake. But I did read some of the comments on this. I'm just going to share the top rated based on my algorithm. This is amazing. From somebody who clearly is extremely retarded, if not just shitposting for engagement. Check this out. Nothing is more satisfying than watching Tesla rot in real time. The cars feel old. The innovation is gone. The quality is a joke. And Elon keeps acting like an unhinged clown while the entire brand slowly collapses under its own arrogance. Oh, shit. In fact, let's watch in real time right now on screen. Tesla's brand collapsing, destroying itself due to its arrogance with a stunning, huge near miss. How the hell did Tesla, their software, do that? Avoid this massive collision. Let me just quickly explain what's going on in this clip. In the left lane here, we have a complete fucking brain-dead retard who shouldn't have a driver's license in the first place, going full speed in the left lane, straight into zero visibility smoke. Now, let's think for a minute. If there's a pile of smoke so thick you can't even see through it, I don't know, maybe you want to be a little bit cautious as you're approaching this wall of invisibility in case the reason for all this smoke is possibly there's been a collision. There could be people injured on the road. There could be overturned vehicles. There could be oncoming vehicles. I mean, hello. So as we navigate through this person on the left here showing the fact that the bell curve is real, full speed ahead toward the smoke, and then they look at that. Brake lights have just slammed on because they've seen something. I wonder what they saw. I wonder what could possibly have caused the smoke. Let's fast forward a little bit, and right about here, bang, there's been a collision. They've hit another vehicle. As a result, they go flying out of the scene. The Tesla starts to slam on the brakes. There's no visibility. You can see here on the left the vehicle that they slammed into. What a fucking retard. The Teslas avoided that vehicle. Probably saw the retard braking and then colliding as well, which helps. But now look at the visibility. The Tesla's coming to a complete stop, slowing down as fast as possible. You cannot see shit right now, but it knows a vehicle crashed and is somewhere ahead. We fall just a little tiny bit more, and we see the tail lights of the retard who hit something going full speed into the smoke. What a fuckwit. Did I mention they're a moron and shouldn't have a license? Tesla's slowing down, braking, assuming, okay, well, I can go through here because the dickhead's over there. And the person they collided into is now here, so straight through the middle should be safe as I continue to slow down. However, if we go a few frames further forward, look at this. As the smoke has cleared a little bit, suddenly, by the way, this vehicle is still in motion, this is the scene that the Tesla sees. Holy shit. So as you're continuing to brake as fast as you can, you also need to get the fuck out of the way and try and avoid a collision. So watch how the Tesla navigates this. Like a boss. Again, I'm just going to rewind a second. Look at this. Still moving at speed, no visibility. A millisecond later, bam. Oh shit, an overturned truck right in my path. Look how well the Tesla handles this. Still braking, still slowing down, dodges around this at the last minute, avoids that collision, is still braking and just comes to a halt before tail-ending this absolute fuckwit who should not have a license. So after seeing that absolutely stunning piece of real-world intelligence, saving a life or more, undoubtedly, continuing on Tesla, let's see how the mainstream finance media and tech media is covering the year-over-year increase, meaningful increase in production and their lumpy energy business. Because, of course, you are extremely unlikely to see the clip of Tesla's software avoiding that collision on Bloomberg, but you'll definitely see them discussing Tesla numbers.
Craig, you did a great job setting us up for this print yesterday when we spoke to you. And we talked about how the idea that even though a lot of analysts value this company not necessarily as a company that sells cars, cars are still really important. So a disappointing quarter when it comes to, or a disappointing month when it comes to sales, that still has an effect on Tesla's business, even if it has big ambitions beyond autos.
Yeah, I mean, this is still what pays the bills, right? Everyone is excited about robotaxis. They're excited about humanoid robots, but those are still really concepts. And we don't have a robot actually that Tesla is selling. And it doesn't sound like they're particularly close if you're following Musk's, sort of daily missives on X. The expectations here weren't all that high and they were trending lower. And so to see them miss by a fairly substantial margin is a big disappointment. And when you compare what some of the peak quarters have been for Tesla, where they've come close a couple of times to 500,000 vehicles in a quarter, this is a really big letdown relative to those sort of loftier levels.
Disappointment, letdown, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to bother talking about the differences between Q1 and other quarters. But remember, though, Tesla does not exist in a vacuum. And they also don't miss. What does miss mean? It means the analysts had a consensus guess at how many vehicles Tesla would produce and deliver, and the analysts guessed, wait for it, wrong. Tesla didn't miss anything. They produced what they produced, they sold what they sold. Analysts, however, clearly overestimated. That said, remember when Ford CEO Jim Farley said, "Take that, Elon Musk"? And I said, he's going to regret that. Well, check this out via Sawyer Merritt on X. Ford announced today that it sold, are you ready? 6,860,000, I'm just kidding. No. 6,860 EVs in the United States in the first quarter of 26, which is down 70% year over year. Whereas we discussed Tesla was up year over year. Let's see here. The Mustang Mach-E, the Model Y competitor, 4,600 units sold. The discontinued F-150 Lightning, 2,060. And the E-Transit, 200. I'd be very interested to know if Bloomberg covered Ford's Q1 electric vehicle deliveries and if they reported it as disappointing. Another post here by Tesla Economics. More context. Keeping in mind, these are deliveries, not production, but it's like for like Tesla. Just under 360,000 vehicles produced in the quarter. BYD, 310,000 electric vehicles. NIO, 83,000. Xpeng, 62,000. Government Motors, around 25 or so thousand. Rivian, just over 10,000. Ford, as we saw, less than 7,000, and Lucid under 5,000 estimated. I will say, if Tesla was just in the vehicle business, they'd still be crushing the so-called competition. And by the way, you want to count the companies on here that are actually making money selling these vehicles? There's one of them. Also selling the most, imagine that. But electric vehicles are last century's news. The future of the company is autonomy. And then the Optimus humanoid robot, which funnily enough, Bloomberg, I noticed earlier, referred to autonomy robotaxis as a quote concept, which is quite interesting considering this concept is actually commercially operating legally, still at small scale, but legally, which is a big milestone. How interesting. Now onto SpaceX. Today from Bloomberg, again, this is all just allegedly blah blah. SpaceX boosted its target IPO valuation above $2 trillion as the world's most valuable startup gears up to pitch potentially the biggest ever market debut. Now, is this true? We don't know. Would I be surprised if it's true? Not at all. In fact, I've said on this channel now repeatedly many times, I won't be surprised if the IPO valuation is at the $2+ trillion mark. Quite easy to justify this on the phenomenal growth just of Starlink, ignoring the launch business aside from its necessity in continuing to expand the Starlink service of home broadband and the cellular service. But ignoring the actual launch business's revenues itself, you can get to that $2+ trillion valuation on the back of Starlink alone. And this doesn't include anything at all to do with XAI or X, which are part of the deal. Just one closing thought. I have to say, I'm really interested to see how the finance media and the tech world and all the commentators and the analysts and the money managers, everybody handles the SpaceX IPO We've seen the consensus around Tesla. Tesla's overvalued. Tesla's disappointing. This is bad. Brand image. Elon bad. This whole thing, right, for years. Yet, at the moment, I'm not seeing a huge number of haters or skeptics around SpaceX. I mean, a few deranged retards who just want attention and will say anything to meet that end. But what happens when the company goes public? Assume it is a $2 trillion IPO valuation or more. What if it sits around that level or more? Do the bears, the haters, the skeptics, the money managers start shrieking about SpaceX being overvalued as well? Do they forget about Tesla and just latch onto SpaceX? Do they simultaneously start hating on both? Or does SpaceX get a pass because they can easily value Starlink alone as a internet service and cell service providing? Oh, okay, well, the multiple's actually pretty reasonable. We understand this. And just while that's happening, just completely ignore what's happening with XAI and X because it doesn't matter because they can justify the valuation just based on Starlink alone. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.